In this phase, we're going to create some objects for our player to interact with. We're going to be creating some platforms. Make sure you have your USB flash drive and your step-by-step project guide. We're going to create and duplicate some obstacle object types. We're going to assign them to the solids family, and then we're going to give them some behaviors. We're going to be using the sign behavior that lets objects go back and forth or up and down. And we're going to set the obstacles properties. Start in your model platformer project. Go to layers and make sure that the game layer is unlocked and is active. We're going to create a grass platform. Right click object types, insert new object. This is going to be a sprite and we're going to call it grass platform. When the crosshair appears, it's going to show you that it's going onto the game layer. Go ahead and click. And we're going to navigate using the folder to the grass platform graphic. Let's make sure we have the set origin and image points option selected. The origin point for this object type is 0 for X, 56 for Y. The lower left-hand corner. Click the red X. And before we go any further, we're going to assign this grass platform to our solids family. This is going to make it behave like an immovable object. It's going to give it the solids behavior. Click on the solids family, edit, add the grass platform. OK. Now take a moment to arrange these onto your layout using the grid, control drag release. Remember, you can control C, control V as well. You can use the grid, or you can use a combination of arrow movements and the grid. So this is what I decided upon. I have some high at the beginning, and then I have some near the end. Next, we're going to create a floating bridge that's going to kind of levitate in the air and go back and forth. Once again, this is going to be on the game layer. Go to object types. Let's add a new sprite. We're going to call it bridge with a capital B. And when the crosshair appears, click. It should show you that it's going on the game layer. Let's navigate to our floating bridge graphic. We're going to go ahead and set the origin point to 48 for X, 14 for Y. Click red X to close. Just like we did with the other platform, we're going to add it to the solids family. Go to solids, right click, edit, choose the bridge, and add it to the family. Press OK. All right. We are going to add behaviors to our bridge object. Click on behaviors, and we're going to use something called sign. Click the plus, and if you scroll down, under movements, you'll see sign. Sign is something you may be familiar with from your math class. We're going to rename this to bridge side to side. Upper camel case. No spaces. This is the behavior that's going to allow our floating bridge to move side to side. Red X to close. Now, if you look at the properties bar, this has added some properties that we can configure, and that's what we want to do now. We want to make sure that the movement of our sign behavior is horizontal. We want to make sure that the period, or the time it takes to go from end to end, is 10 seconds. And then the magnitude is the number of total pixels that it travels. We want to change that to 150. With all of that set, we're going to focus on duplicating our floating bridge. Control drag release. Combination of snapping to grid and manual arrow movements. Take a moment to do that. I decided upon having a couple low-lying floating bridges. Let's see how that's working out for us. We want to preview our game. I'm going to move the player over and test these two floating bridges. Let's run the layout. As you can see, the sign behavior makes the floating bridges move side to side, makes it a little bit more challenging for the player, and looks like both of them are working. Make sure to save